would you call the roll?
Sure. Kevin Coppinger is absent. Matt Shinnick in his place.
Yep.
Andy Hall. Chris Rowe. Bob Stillion. And James Codell, absent.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Stillion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Commissioner Shinnick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, public hearing number 804. Rescind the no turn on red on Franklin Street heading west at the intersection of Hanover Street. So I will open the public hearing to those wishing to speak in favor of rescinding the no turn on red on Franklin Street heading west at the intersection of Hanover Street. No one's here to speak in favor. I close the public hearing for those wishing to speak in favor, and I open the public hearing for those wishing to speak in opposition to number 804, rescinding the no turn on red on Franklin Street, heading west at the intersection of Hanover Street.
This request came from the mayor's office. I guess they had a constituent call on it, that the no turn backs up all the traffic, especially during school
School
hours.
dismissal.
Yes.
I'm gonna situate myself here. I'm not familiar with this light.
You're coming up Franklin from Stop and Shop, and right when you get to Franklin,
Come the other way.
oh, going the other way?
It's coming down from the
City Hall.
Commons,
Okay, so down the Commons, and then you take the right onto here.
Hanover.
You know where the Corbett School is?
Just beyond that.
Just
Yes.
beyond that on the right.
Yeah, 3 variety stores and a house. And the church right next door. I thought it was coming the other way when I looked at it the other day. That's how much I... But either way, it should happen.
Yeah.
So anyone wishing to speak in favor of rescinding the no turn on red on Franklin Street heading west at the intersection of Hanover Street? Anyone? All right, I close the public hearing for those wishing to speak in favor. What is the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Stillion to
Advertise?
Approve?
This is advertised to approve it.
I'll just,
To remove the sign.
Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Commissioner Rowe. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right, this is for public hearing number 805. Eliminate on-street parking on Johnson Street directly abutting the westerly driveway at the municipal parking lot, beginning at pole A6, located near the property line of 48 Johnson Street and the municipal lot, to the westerly curb cut for the municipal lot, a distance of approximately 23 feet. I will now open the public hearing for those wishing to speak in favor of eliminating this one parking spot adjacent to the Johnson Street lot entrance.
This was submitted from Mike Donovan, Inspectional Services. And there were
Doesn't
some
affect the
photos.
meters.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor of on-street, removing a one parking spot adjacent to the Johnson Street lot? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? No. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the removal of one parking spot adjacent to the Johnson Street parking lot entrance? So I close the public hearing for those wishing to speak in opposition to the removal of the parking spot. What is the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Stillion, seconded by Commissioner Shinnick.
To make it no parking.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
That will help getting out. It is working pretty good with the gate, I'm actually surprised.
Business?
We have some business. Number 806. This came in from a Laura Reed at 736 Boston Street, and she would like to establish resident parking on Fenton Ave. And I have a letter from her with a petition from the neighbors on Fenton. Hello, my name is Laura Reed. My address is 736 Boston Street. My garage is located on Fenton Ave. Our street, Fenton, is submitted a petition for resident-only parking, even if just for the upper end of the street. We are one of the only streets without resident parking signs in our neighborhood. There are a large number of rental homes in our neighborhood with limited or no parking spots. We are also directly on a bus stop. This leads to a large number of cars parking on Fenton, sometimes for weeks at a time. We are seeking resident-only parking, if not for the whole street, at least for the top half. Thank you for your time and consideration. Laura Reed and residents of Fenton Ave, and I do have a petition here. I'll pass it around. And also, we have a letter from Councilor John Walsh. Dear Chairman Coppinger, would you kindly set down the public hearing, the enclosed request for resident parking on Fenton Avenue, the upper area intersection of Boston Street? I support this request and I look forward to attending this public hearing. Thank you in advance for your assistance in this matter. Sincerely, John M. Walsh Jr., Councilor of Ward 7.
Now, this woman has a Boston Street address, will she get a tag?
Yes, she will. Her garage, where she parks in, is on Fenton. And I did bring a copy of the rules, so you'll see that.
Okay, I just don't want to see her close the door on herself.
The signs of no parking in front of the north side of her house.
Anyone like to make a motion to put it down for a public hearing?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Stillian.
Second.
Advertise for a public hearing. Seconded by Commissioner Rowe. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. What's next?
Let's see, what is next? Number 807, establish a four-way stop at the intersection of Ashland Street and Bell Ave. And this was submitted also by Councilor John M. Walsh Jr., Councilor Ward 7. Dear Chairman Coppinger, would you kindly set down a public hearing for a four-way stop at the intersection of Ashland Street and Bell Avenue? I have received numerous complaints regarding vehicles speeding on Ashland Street. I also monitored this intersection and witnessed myself vehicles speeding on Ashland Street, creating a safety hazard. I support this request and I look forward to attending the public hearing. Thanking you in advance for your assistance in this matter. Sincerely, John M. Walsh Jr., Council Ward 7.
Any discussion?
What do you plan on that?
I'd like to look at some,
Excellent, thank you for that.
yeah, ticket numbers and that type of thing before we forge ahead on this one. That's my thought anyways.
Make a motion, send a letter to the police department for information.
Motion by Commissioner Stillian, second by
Second, yeah.
Commissioner Rowe. All in
Give
favor?
Lynn some work.
That's why he didn't second it.
I know.
All right, so that's,
So we'll be tabled.
it's tabled for more information is the outcome on that one, correct?
Yes.
Motion, do you need a motion to table?
We
No, 'cause
tabled
it-
for the accident data.
For the accident ticket.
Hey.
New sheriff in town. Hello.
Hello, and thank you for that welcoming introduction.
Do you want to take the chair over?
No,
or-
you're my guest, you're doing fine.
Okay.
No, mind, that's fine. I'm just-
No, I don't mind.
Ned's doing a fine job over there.
Geez, he's getting more work.
That is all for new business.
All right. Do you have an issue that you're wishing to speak on? or
This is
just
the young lady from
audience?
Central Ave, I believe.
Old
That's
business.
correct.
Oh, okay. Joanna Halen?
Yeah, that's me.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
This is where we can do that one first, if you would like.
Now, part of her problems is
Number 802.
the paving. She feels that the two spots where they're paved out there, where there's patches, it's causing her building to shake, because when vehicles go over the her cement building is shaking.
Right, now,
That's
Diana
one issue.
took some photos and sent them down to
Yeah.
down to myself, and we're gonna have, one of our guys look into what can be done. So we're trying to get the owner of the patch to fix it, but if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to fix it ourselves.
Got it, okay. The issue, I mean, the building is certainly one issue, but the other issue is the pedestrian safety. Where Central Street, and I'm sort of new, so pardon my ignorance, where there's the juvenile court, you've got a lot of families crossing that intersection. We're talking like, parents with strollers, with kids, there's also Da Vinci Cafe, there's court employees that are walking. I've seen so many close incidents with cars. That intersection, there's no crosswalks at all. And I would recommend that the board, consider doing a crosswalks on the four sides of the street, including putting a stop sign on Central Street going towards like the gas station to slow down traffic. The traffic, especially in the evenings, is really, really fast. People who are barreling down that street don't even see the speed limit, which again is a pedestrian and crosswalk safety issue, but also the faster the traffic is, the more the building shakes.
Makes it worse, right? So I'm in complete agreement with you that it's dangerous down there for pedestrians. And to rectify that, we've taken advantage of some grant money through Mass in Motion, and there's an engineer who's working for the state who's gonna come up with a solution down there. I think we're gonna change the geometry of the curbing to provide like a refuge where the parked cars won't block the sight lines for the crosswalk, and you're gonna see some action down there. We appreciate your patience. Construction probably won't begin at this point till September, but there is,
September.
yeah.
Okay, and then patches, Diane mentioned that there may be some smoothing happening prior to that, is that?
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
Any idea of when you think that might happen?
I haven't got my report back as to what the solution is for the patches, but we'll get on it as soon as we can.
Okay. One other issue, if you don't mind if I just mention that, because I heard that there was possibility of requesting or petitioning the board for resident parking. Where I live, there is no resident parking, and that there's not a lot of residents who live in that area because downtown is kind of commercial, but there's me and my neighbor who often have a hard time parking, especially during concerts. In fact, last Friday, there was zero parking. I got home from work, there was a concert, and they ended up parking right in front of the juvenile court, right between the two handicap signs. Even though it was after hours, I still got a ticket for $250. Again, I knew that it was handicap parking, but there was literally no option for me to park, and it was after hours. So I was faced with, where do I park my car? And that was the only place I could just leave it.
I mean, we can't discourage you from applying for resident parking, but that is gonna be a tough road to hoe down in that area, just because of the businesses and the
Yeah.
City Hall auditorium, and how about the Andrew Street lot, would that work for you or no?
That was full.
It's full.
Was full.
Because there was an event or something?
Yeah, so I was stopping, like I really had no place to park. And it was kind of late at night, I didn't feel, kind of safe parking it, blocks away and walking, so.
Right. So I guess, again, I can't stop you from petitioning the board, but that's gonna be a tough one to pull off for you.
Okay, and who might I be in touch with regarding just getting updates on some of the road, the smoothing as well as the larger construction project? Is that yourself or someone else?
Yes, it is, yeah, well, I can give you a card. And
That'd
they're-
be great, yeah, do you mind if I give you my phone?
No, they're on the City Hall website as well.
Oh, okay, super. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Don't thank me until it's done, right?
Thank you. Mary, thank you so much for chatting, we appreciate it. Nice meeting you in person. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Brookline Street one?
No,
No.
that's a hand grenade that he's rolled in here.
Sorry, I forgot Brookline Street, number 808. Jump back into that. Establish one way on Brookline Street and Chatham Street. No, did we do that with Mike?
We haven't done that yet.
No, we didn't, okay. From Chatham Street to Empire Street from 7:15 a.m. to 8:15 a.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. for the new Marshall Middle School, and this will be Brookline Street from Chatham to Empire.
So you can travel from Chatham to Empire.
Yes.
I'll make a motion for that.
Motion to advertise by Commissioner Stillion,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Rowe. So wish to the board, or roll call. No. All in favor? Oh, no. Motion passes.
Apologize, I forgot my glasses.
You're doing
It's a
excellent.
Difficulty. That's what I'm doing.
I have to take mine off to see.
Number 800 and number 801.
Oh,
South Street,
South
no
Street
parking
Place.
on the odd side, and South Street Place, South Street Court, and Neptune Street, resident parking, and we had asked the police department for some input.
I've driven down there day and night. There's not a lot of cars on the streets.
We have,
And you are gonna have a problem towards the end. You have, the stickers are done in that area. If you make that no parking, the opposite side of the street people are parking on, I think it's gonna make a situation at the end of the street even worse.
So she wants the no parking on
Odd side.
the odd side of South, which is the side closest to the railroad tracks, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
and then they want resident parking on all of the other streets. Let's see, Deputy Dismaris did send us some input on this.
Did you go by there at all, Karen, or?
No, not yet.
I've gone down probably 6
I'm just supposed to
times.
stay out of Ned's the.
Oh, that's right, you're
I'm just a
just,
bystander today, so I'm
believe-
gonna stay silent over here.
I believe Deputy Dismaris sent the letter.
Yes, he did.
but your information's usually always excellent. You do such a great job.
And this is to the Parking Commission from Deputy Chief Leonard E. Dismaris. I have received the letter requesting an opinion in regards to parking restrictions on South Street and some of the surrounding streets regarding resident-only parking on South Street Place, South Street Court, Neptune Street Court, and odd-numbered side-only parking on South Street. As far as an impact on crashes, a review of the crash data from 2011 to 2015 showed the following: 2 crashes on South Street and Neptune Street, 2 crashes on South Street and South Street Place, 1 crash on South Street and South Street Court, 6 crashes on South Street from Summer Street to Bennett Street, 11 total crashes in the referenced area over a 5-year period. This is not an inordinately high number of crashes for the length of time. It should be noted that the intersections of South Street and Summer Street and South Street and Bennett Street have higher crash numbers, but these are mostly due to operators ignoring traffic control devices and are not due to parking issues. Resident-only parking restrictions on the referenced side streets would most likely not reduce the already low number of crashes. One side-only parking restrictions on South Street would most likely not reduce the already low number of crashes on the street. It is possible that a one-side-only restriction would invite operators to feel that they can speed on South Street due to it being wider. Regardless of the Parking Commission's decision, the department will increase its traffic enforcement efforts on South Street from Summer Street to Bennett Street. As far as an impact on the area, if the proposed parking restrictions were approved, I believe it would be a hardship to a majority of the residents in the affected area. The majority of the motor vehicles parked on South Street and the referenced side streets belong to residents. As there are many multifamily homes in this area, there is a large number of resident-owned vehicles. It does result in parking issues. However, limiting parking to only those who live on a specific street, which also comes with a limit on the number allowed per residence, will force residents to park farther away from their homes and only result in parking issues being transferred to those neighborhoods. Leonard E. Dismaris, Deputy Chief.
May I pass the gavel to Sergeant Shinnick? please?
Absolutely.
So you're in charge?
I'm in charge.
I'd like to make a motion to deny this one, based on,
Now, we're doing 801 and 802 to both. One is for the resident parking and one is for...
yeah, I think they're both a bad idea, and specifically South Street. I went down there today, and there are cars parked out there, but there's nowhere for these cars to go. So you're gonna eliminate parking for 25 homes down there? I don't think it's gonna work. So I'd like to make a motion to deny this request. Both of them, number 801 and 802.
You're gonna combine the two?
We'll
A
combine.
motion? Perfect. I'll second that motion.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to deny numbers 800 and 801. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote, and do so declare. Those are denied.
Vote to deny.
So I'll take the chair back.
Sure.
You better get used to it.
A long way to go.
I've got a map of that area, if anyone wants to look at it.
No, I'll tell you the truth, I've gone down a few times, there's not that many cars that it's causing a problem. There's still, I could park anytime I went down the street. And down by the auto body shop and the other, I think that would really be a hindrance.
They line up, they queue up, get stickers out there.
Stickers,
It's-
yeah. But it's over, so. Anything else, Mayor? or-
There are a few other tabled, but I haven't received any information yet. I know I had sent a letter to the law department. And I don't have any more info for anything else, so. no.
Motion to adjourn? Oh.
I've got one, I got contacted by Darren Sear, Council of Ward 3, about an ordinance on Emerson Place, which is off Gilbert Street, little dead end, narrow dead end. And if there isn't no parking on the street now, there should be. And I was hoping that, Mary, you could research whether or not there's an ordinance.
I believe there is, but let me double check.
Okay, because I'd love to just put the signs up, but
That ends it.
yeah, it's so narrow that all it takes is one car parked, unloading groceries, and no one can get down the street.
If not, you wanna set it, if the ordinance is in place, you wanna set it down for a hearing, if not? And Mary can make that decision after she does her research.
There is no ordinance.
If there's no ordinance, could we get it on the agenda for the next meeting? Yes. Is that the best way to handle it?
Motion for that.
Motion?
Second.
All in
We've been
favor?
doing them all, so I
Aye.
figure.
That's that motion passes.
Anything else?
Can I just ask one question? Mary, did they take care of the Thurgood, the new Thurgood Marshall?
Yes.
Now, Lottie got that?
Be advertised. Did you want to do an emergency preamble on that? Or just wait until it comes in? I know they're supposed to open April
Yeah,
25th.
Again, I'm not supposed to be one of these.
I know, anybody
So
want
I
to
was
make?
throwing it out
motion?
for the board to
The
discuss.
Thurgood
but-
Marshall School is
They're open in April.
April 25th, and they
Our
want that
next
one
meeting would
way,
be April,
April 19th.
you wanna do an earlier
Do you
meeting?
want to do an emergency
Opening the
preamble?
school and.
That's what I was told today. They called me from the school.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be open, they're ahead of schedule, they're actually doing terrific there, Mike's done a great job. Do we wanna do the 29th of this is a 5-week month, we wanna do how much time do you need to advertise, Mary?
Well,
Well,
if
you
you do
can
an
do
emergency
it-
preamble, you
yeah,
can
you
get
can
the
do an
signs up now,
emergency-
and then it can be voted
Yeah.
on.
I'll make a motion, we do
In
an
April.
emergency preamble.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner.
I wasn't sure how that worked.
Seconded by Commissioner
Being new to
Stillian
this.
to add an emergency preamble. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I didn't know the school was opening that quick.
Yeah, I was in it the other day, they're actually progressing very nicely. City of Lynn is always ahead of schedule on things now. Mike does a great job,
Be nice when, yeah, hopefully. That's it.
That's it.
motion adjourned?
Motion to adjourn, Commissioner Stein?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rowe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nice job.